185,000 dead in a single night. No invading army, no plague, no earthquake, just silence. What force on earth could wipe out so many without a fight? The Assyrians, masters of siege warfare, had conquered empires. But outside Jerusalem, they met their match, not on the battlefield, but in the dead of night. What power could crush the world's strongest army without loosing a single arrow? Let's go back to a dark chapter in Jerusalem's story. Once God's holy city, its streets now echoed with false worship. People burned incense to fake gods while King Ahaz, Hezekiah's father, led them farther from the real God. Young Hezekiah watched from his window as his people knelt before lifeless idols. The grand temple of Solomon, once alive with prayers and songs, sat locked and silent. No one visited it anymore. But Hezekiah wasn't like the others. While people forgot God, he remembered the old stories of David, who trusted God and won great battles, of Moses, who led the people through the wilderness, of Abraham, who believed with all his heart. To Hezekiah, these weren't just ancient tales. They were real and they gave him hope. Every day, Hezekiah saw more shrines to false gods rise in the streets. His people had forgotten their special bond with God. They were lost, like sheep with no shepherd. Then, everything changed. King Ahaz died and Hezekiah became king. Though young, he knew his mission. His first act? He marched straight to the sealed temple and ordered the gates thrown open. People watched in shock as their new king called the priests together. "Clean this place out. Remove every false thing. We're bringing back true worship." Day by day, Hezekiah worked to turn his people back to God. He ordered the destruction of every idol in Jerusalem. The sound of hammers filled the streets as false gods crumbled. Where pagan altars once stood, only rubble remained. But Hezekiah wasn't content just smashing statues. He wanted to repair hearts. He reminded his people of their covenant with God, the promises made to their ancestors. Slowly, they remembered who they truly were. The temple came alive again. Songs and prayers echoed in its halls. Real offerings once more burned on the altar. Joy returned to Jerusalem as worship was restored. But far away in Assyria, trouble was brewing. The mighty Assyrian army, undefeated and feared, heard about the bold young king of Judah. They'd crushed nation after nation. Now they set their sights on Jerusalem. Hezekiah's courage would soon be tested like never before. The Assyrian army wasn't just big, it was terrifying. A storm of destruction. Their marching made the ground tremble. Their siege towers, tall as trees, rolled toward city walls like wooden giants. Inside, archers rained arrows from above. Their most feared weapon? The battering ram, a massive log with a metal ram's head that smashed walls until they crumbled. But breaking stone wasn't enough. They broke spirits too. Before attacking, they'd send messengers to terrify cities with tales of destruction. Many surrendered just from fear. Their army was a machine. Engineers built roads and bridges, dug under walls, even rerouted rivers to flood or starve cities. When they surrounded a place, nothing got in or out. No food, no water, no hope. Their archers shot so many arrows at once, people said the sky went dark. Their shield walls rolled forward like a mountain of metal. Assyrians were proud of their fearsome reputation. Their king, Sennacherib, boasted on stone carvings and clay tablets, calling himself the king of the world, bragging how no god could stop his army. Imagine being in Jerusalem, hearing they were coming, the same army that had destroyed Israel and countless other cities. No one had ever defeated them. Now, Hezekiah and his people faced this nightmare. But what happened next stunned everyone, even the Assyrians. Fear whispered through Jerusalem's streets. How could they stand against such power? But Hezekiah didn't surrender. He had a plan. First, he ordered stronger walls, bigger, taller, thicker. Workers toiled from dawn to dusk, racing to fortify the city. But Hezekiah knew walls alone wouldn't save them. They needed water. The city's mainspring lay outside the walls, a fatal weakness. So Hezekiah came up with a daring solution. Dig a secret tunnel through solid rock to bring water inside. Workers started from both ends, hoping to meet in the middle. It was backbreaking work, but they kept going. This tunnel would be Jerusalem's lifeline. Meanwhile, others stockpiled food. Hezekiah stamped clay seals on jars of oil, wine, and grain, supplies for the siege. The whole city became a hive of activity. Some forged weapons, others repaired buildings, everyone pitched in. Hezekiah walked among his people, urging them to be strong. Don't fear, the Assyrians are mighty, but our God is mightier. Day by day, Jerusalem transformed into a fortress. Walls rose higher, tunnels stretched longer, storehouses filled. But Hezekiah knew They needed more than defenses. They needed faith. He told stories of God's past rescues, David and Goliath Moses at the Red Sea. These reminders kept hope alive. The Assyrians were experts at breaking willpower before breaking walls, but Hezekiah kept his people focused and brave. Still, questions haunted them. Would the walls hold? Would the food last? Would the water flow? And most of all, would God protect them again? Then the earth shook. The Assyrian army arrived, a sea of soldiers and weapons encircling Jerusalem. From the walls, people watched in fear. But instead of attacking right away, an Assyrian commander stepped forward, Rabshakeh. His weapon was words, not arrows. He spoke in Hebrew, so everyone on the walls could understand. "Why trust Hezekiah?" he shouted. "He can't save you. No God has ever stopped us. Yours won't either." Then he mocked them. "I'll give you 2,000 horses, if you can even find riders." His insults stung. Then he offered false promises. "Surrender, and we'll take you to a land full of food and vineyards. Live instead of dying behind these walls." His words spread fear. People trembled, wondering if he was right. Should they give up? The city's hope wavered like a candle in the wind. When Hezekiah heard Rabshakeh's message, it cut deep. He tore his royal robes and wore sackcloth in grief. But he didn't surrender. Instead, he turned to the prophet Isaiah, God's messenger. All Jerusalem waited for Isaiah's answer, and it came. "Do not be afraid. God has heard their insults. They will not win." Night fell. Outside the walls, thousands of Assyrian campfires flickered like stars. Inside, Hezekiah prayed in the temple, "Lord, you alone are God. Please hear us. Please save us. Show the world you are real." That night, something eerie happened. The normal noise of the vast camp, voices, footsteps, clanking armor, went silent, an unnatural, chilling quiet. At dawn, the people of Jerusalem peered over the walls and gasped. The Assyrian army wasn't preparing to attack. They weren't moving at all. Across the vast camp, 185,000 soldiers lay dead. No battle had taken place. No wounds were seen. Something unseen had struck in the night. Word spread fast. An angel. Some whispered it was the angel of the Lord, like the one who struck Egypt long ago. Others thought it was sudden sickness. But all agreed. Only God could have done this. The few Assyrians left fled in terror. Their proud king, Sennacherib, who had mocked God, ran back to Nineveh. But even there, he couldn't escape judgment. His own sons killed him while he prayed to his false god. The once mighty king met a tragic end. Jerusalem was saved. The people flooded the streets with songs of praise. Hezekiah had trusted in God, and God delivered them in a miraculous way. The story of the invisible angel who destroyed an army became legend. It proved no power on earth could stand against God's will. Now think about this. If one angel could defeat the greatest army, what about 7? That's right. God has 7 archangels, each with unique missions. Some bring healing, some fight evil, some deliver divine messages. And here's a twist. The angel who saved Jerusalem may have been one of them. Want to know which? Stay with us. We'll reveal each angel's powers, their roles, and even what they'll do at the end of days. Click the next video. After this, you'll never see angels the same way again.